Hey everyone, and this is another interview with Nicola Corti.
Amazing.
You just had an amazing keynote.
Thank you very much.
With your teammates from React Core team. Actually, let's start with this.
Yeah.
What's the difference between React Core team and you guys? Like, you are a React Core team, but you work directly on React Native most of the time?
So there is no such a thing as React Core team, honestly. We say that we're all part of the React team. No, and so the React team at Meta is like 50 people. Obviously, there are some persons that are more like focused on like how React works with the internal infrastructure. Other people more focused on React Native, and then, for example, me, I'm more focused on React Native open source. So like making sure that everything that is developed internally reaches the user outside Meta and doesn't stop there, because, you know, when you do engineering, there's always this feeling of like, oh yeah, I rolled out, and then like thinking about the open source story is actually a little bit more complex at times. So yeah, we're all part of the React team.
React team at
Yeah,
Meta.
we just say React team, yeah.
Has there been a React Native core team or something?
So when I joined, actually, that was the case.
Yeah.
There was a React team and a React Native team and a Relay team. And I was part of the React Native team. And we were like, 20 people or so.
Okay, and when did that change?
That changed basically when Seth took over. I think it was Seth Webster, yeah.
Now executive
director of the React Foundation.
Yeah,
React
absolutely.
Foundation. Yeah, our boss, basically.
Yeah.
And him, basically his vision was like, hey, you folks are not speaking with each other.
Yeah.
Because you have React team and then React Native team, and you folks don't interact. So instead, let's focus more like on areas. So maybe like performance or convergence. So we sort of restructured ourselves into like what we call pillars. But then like we say, okay, for example, in my case, I work on a pillar which is called industry alignment, which is like making sure that the industry doesn't diverge from how we're doing things internally. And we have like 2 or 3 people working on industry alignment. But then it's not that we have people from both React and React Native doing it.
Okay.
So that's when that changed. And that's when the like React team and React Native team with separate managers structure sort of like got dismantled.
Yeah. And I guess that was for the benefit
of
like
collaboration and making sure that also we feel owner of each other. No, so like then when a new feature is developed for React, we also think about how that feature will work within React Native.
I was actually going to ask you about this. I talked with Ricardo about this for a little bit, but when I saw the latest release of React with the activity component, my first thought was, exactly, this is the kind of functionality that we can now finally have in React Native because of the architecture, because of the new architecture.
Exactly.
With the concurrent React, with the low priority thread, with the high priority thread. So like, I guess I have no question about that, but this just struck me as something that you guys been talking for years now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go on to the new architecture, because all of the new things
you will not be able to use that. Exactly.
Are lined up for new architecture.
Yeah. And actually, let me add a thing. I'm glad that at this conference, like this time at React Conf, we're announcing so many new features. For example, the new list API that my colleague Luna talked about, that works on the architecture only. And for a number of years, we are always at this problem where we were telling people like, hey, migrate. But people were like, hey, React Native works for me. Why are you asking me to do a painful migration to something that works exactly the same as before? I don't get anything new. And we made a lot of, talks about like, hey, the new architecture will be faster, you will save in bundle time. But now those things are happening, and it's like, let me do another call out. Like, if you're not on the new architecture now, you will start to miss out. It's so important that you migrate.
You are already like left behind.
Yeah, exactly.
With like frozen old architecture.
Yeah,
now I guess like deprecation in the next versions.
Yeah, so 82, which we released this morning actually.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the first version that contains only new arc. That is not going to be legacy architecture anymore. And we already started removing things. So from 83, 84, a lot of the legacy arc classes will be gone. So you will not ship it to your users. You will save space and yeah, it's just gonna be better for library maintainer. They will not have to think like, hey, is my library working with old and new arc? No, now it's only new arc, and that's what the standard should be.
The architecture,
correct,
basically. Yeah. What other like topics are you most excited about? Not maybe only from React Native, but like the whole conference in its entirety.
So yeah, one thing that excites me a lot, obviously because I know I do React Native is Hermes V1.
Yeah.
So
no longer static.
Yeah, no longer static actually. So we talked about static Hermes 2 years ago, and that was like, it's basically the code name for our exploration. And then from this exploration, we got a lot of performance boosts that we actually never shipped to our users. No, so actually, if you go on the Hermes repository, there is the main branch, and that main branch is not where the Hermes team develops. They have another GitHub branch called Static Age, which is where Static Hermes was helping. But then, like at some point, we said that like a lot of those improvements can be shipped to the users. We want people to run on the latest and greatest Hermes version.
Yeah.
And so how do we do that? We partnered with Soft Dimension, and they helped us roll out. They actually were pioneering this because they did the first exploration of how static Hermes will look like in React Native, and so they literally helped us ship what now is called Hermes V1, which is experimental. You can try it out. We are planning on, obviously, it will become stable at some point. It will become the default. Yeah. It's not going to be like a multi-year thing as the new architecture.
I think what you said on the stage, maybe not you, it was, I think, Ricardo that was talking about the Hermes V1, is that right now, if you want to enable this, you have to do some workarounds.
Yeah.
But like in the next release, maybe in 83.
Yeah. So the thing is, because now we are shipping 2 versions of Hermes in 82. So you have the default one and V1. Mm-hmm. We need to decide which of the 2 to pre-build React Native against.
Okay.
So in this case, we are pre-building React Native against the current Hermes. So if you go on V1, that will not combine well with React Native. So you will have to turn on build from source. So you would see your build would be slower. But it gives you an opportunity to try your app with Hermes V1 and see what would be the performance gain once that is stable.
Yeah. And also like this is needed for you guys as well to like basically verify that all of the biggest apps out there can turn this on and like what kind of issues they see.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's, again, I think it's an experimental, as we said, but this is going to be huge for the ecosystem. We're going to ship it. I think it's going to be, I can't promise, but I think it's going to be like 2 or 3 releases from now, maybe sometime early next year. Okay. It's going to be stable, probably.
One funny thing that I saw at the stage on the keynote about Hermes was when I think it was Ricardo, but I might be mistaken, when he said, okay, and now in Hermes engine, you can use new methods like set and map. And I'm like, huh?
No,
what's going on?
So the catch there is that actually you can already use those capabilities.
It's just there are polyfields.
It's just, exactly. Now instead the engine will natively support those for you, which is huge. It comes with a lot as well.
It was just so funny when he announced this and everyone was like, huh?
I can already do that today. Yeah, obviously.
What's new about set?
Yeah, it comes with a cost now. I just want to jump topic on another thing because I think it's really for me was like I had an amazing opportunity to talk about it, and I want to share it with the folks. Today we talked about some app spotlights, and we talked about some that are award winning. And we saw like the likes of Arise, Rana, and Partiful, which are like amazing applications. Like you really try them, get a sense of what you can do with React Native. Those apps won some of the awards, like even Partiful was like best of a Play Store last year. And I think like me coming as an under engineer, we always have this, idea that with React Native, you can't build nice app. That if you want a nice app, you need to make it native because that's the only way to make it nice. But that's I think those apps
that's a false statement now. Like, this is such a like a rewarding moment for you guys, but all of us in the community to see our technology being up there with like the award, not for the best React Native app, that's like the best
absolutely
in the App Store.
So I think it was amazing, and And yeah, we celebrated them today because I think they're really worth
yeah,
being
definitely.
rolled out.
Thank you so much for
You're
doing
welcome.
that. Thank you for having this
Man,
interview with me.
amazing.
Thank you for the keynote. Thank you
Same.
for all of the work that you do.
Thank you for all you do as well.
Thanks so much.
Awesome.